Okay, so we are coming into Joe's backyard. Let's see if we can find him here. Oh, there he is.
This mask was the first thing I ever made at a billy gathering. My first gathering at Heartwood, New Year's Eve, 1990.
So welcome, Joe, to the Creative Engagement YouTube channel, and thank you for allowing us to check out your yard and your life.
My pleasure.
Give us a little tour of your backyard space and this shed of succulents.
Yeah, this is a greenhouse I made when I first moved in 20 years ago with Wayne, and I love funky, rusty stuff. I love old woodwork. There's lots of treasures in here. This is part of my extensive found penal objects in nature. Isn't that incredible?
It is.
That's from the Mojave
phallic,
Desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your take on creativity? It's a big ticket question, right?
Yeah. I don't usually think of myself as an artist. It feels like I'm also almost taping it across my description. But I am creative, and you know, on one level I realize that my gardens are art. I mean, they combine art with creating natural environments and trying to be natural, but there is certainly a creative element in that.
Well, wouldn't you say also that it's a way that you express yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Take us on a little tour and let's see and hear what it's like to express yourself through these plants and your connection to nature.
Sure. This is where Wayne and we grow native plants planted on the creek behind our house. It's been our very quiet guerrilla creek restoration. Yeah, beautifying, I think of it more as trying to get native plants back. Native plants tend to be low water using, so you could say xeriscaping, but the truth is that even native plants need a lot of tending, and we watered them by hand for 4 or 5 years, which increased the success rate. So it was an act of devotion, yeah. And we created this shade house for growing the young native plants. And I like to take found materials and play with it. What do you do with all those rotten wine barrels and the metal bands around them?
Oh, it's a giant cookie cutter.
That's right. What you see mostly is hearts. And so I played around, and I've got a rectangle, which is boring, and that is either a gourd or an eggplant, and a butterfly, and the star.
See, there's all kinds of creativity. And we get to see yours up close.
But more and more we're planting natives, whether it's perennial wildflowers or shrubs. We've got 3 species of lupins. They've been here 3 or 4 years, and these different species are interbreeding. Ooh. We had purple.
Did you know that would happen, or is that a surprise? Or?
A little bit of a surprise, but we've got yellow, and we've got purple, and now some of them are coming out pink. Some of the offspring.
It's a really calm, beautiful place you've created here.
Yeah, sometimes you forget you live on a really noisy street. We do think of it as a wildlife sanctuary.
So what does it mean to you to be able to come out and be in this space you've created?
Really, it's incredibly healing. It's real, especially these days with what's going on in this country, in our world. And I will add, that I got a liver transplant. I was gifted with a miracle. I'll put it that way. And I come out here, and it's like the physical discomfort goes away. You're so distracted by the bees and the butterflies, and that is miraculous. It really does work. And I tell people all the time, get outside. If you don't have a garden, just walk down the street. You should be here in January, February, March. One of the many creatures that finds sanctuary here are the tree frogs.
Okay.
They're also called Pacific chorus frogs, and oh my God, when they get hot for sex, but it sounds like there's hundreds of them. They're incredibly loud, but it's joyous.
Yeah.
Around the end of June, with the hot weather, the crickets start going, and that's another joyous sound. This is called Dutchman's pipevine, and it's a native, and it took about 17 years before the native pipevine swallowtail butterfly showed up.
Oh.
And its caterpillars only eat this vine. And how many people are overjoyed when they see caterpillars eating their garden plants? Well, we were. Oh, here's some young ones right now.
Really?
I haven't seen them. These are the first.
Oh, yeah.
Those are young.
Wow.
Pipevine swallowtail caterpillars. You could say it's a collaboration, but the way it works for Wayne and I is we each plant something or prune something and hope the other one doesn't notice.
You're sneaky.
And yet, somehow we have this sweet sanctuary.
So yeah, your connection to nature and your delight in it is very apparent.
Oh my goodness, yes. I went to my first fairy gathering in about 1983. It was the same month that I went to my first California men's gathering. I don't remember how I learned about the billies. I'm sure I learned about it through the fairies. I was always interested in community. There was a gay community center in Sacramento when I first came out, about 1972. There were people I knew from the fairies, like Bill Blackburn, for instance, and several others. Will Doherty, aka Stardust.
And you've coordinated several gatherings over the years.
3. My creativity really came out.
And what did that feel like to be able to be creative and organize?
It was wonderful. So the first gathering I did was a Halloween gathering. I was incorporating the theme of nature. The title was, and I stole directly from Maurice Sendak, and it was Into the Woods Where the Wild Things Are.
What have the billies meant to you?
And the central theme of the billies and the fairies is the heart circle. And
for people who don't know what that means or what a heart circle is, can you kind of describe?
It's a very democratic, simple process. It makes me kind of think of the Quakers in a way. Each person is speaking from their hearts, mostly about feelings, and when the speaker has the talisman, the rest of us simply listen, and we try to listen without judgment. The first time I went to a heart circle was in the San Diego desert at a fairy gathering in '83, and that's where I first heard Harry Hay and John Burnside. And it was wonderful. It was so unlike anything.
Harry Hay is our grandfather of gay liberation.
And a one of the founders of the Radical Fairy movement. He was involved with the Billies, but that first Heart Circle was so incredible. I mean, I've been trying to find community in the gay scene, and the bars, you couldn't have a conversation. I just let it all out, and I said, I've waited 6 hours to speak, and you people who are kind of falling asleep, I want you to fucking wake up and sit up and listen. I want your attention. I've given you mine. It was a deeper kind of community than I'd gotten in the typical gay scene. There was certainly the love of nature. You know, most of our gatherings are out in nature. I kind of wonder if I would still be alive if I hadn't encountered the fairies and the Billies and the Heart Circle. There were times where I didn't think I was going to make it. Wouldn't it be incredible if much more of society experienced Heart Circles? But I think people generally go to gatherings to get away from the strife and the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But it seems to me that these are extraordinary times. What I finally came up with was sowing seeds of resilience.
Well, resilience is something everyone needs and can get behind.
Yeah, and
that's because you are very inclusive.
Yes, try to be, and that's in the spirit of the Billies. Resilience means to recover or bounce back from setbacks, from challenges. And I wanted to remind people of what we in the GBLTQ community have done throughout time, really, but especially in my lifetime. We have spoken up. We have done nonviolent disobedience. In the face of all odds, we've caused research into HIV that probably would not have happened.
We took care of each other when
we
no one else
took care
would.
of each other. I wanted to do it not only for my community, but for myself, because I am a creative person, and other than gardening, I think the highest form of creativity I have experienced in my life was organizing a gathering.
Yeah, the art of community building.
Community building and you know, making beautiful things or fun things. It's one big creative project, and it's personally really good for me. Not only as I furthering and helping to strengthen our community, but I was doing this incredible project, and I was asking for and getting the help of a whole cast of several bakers, dozens of people.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for letting us into your home, and everything here is so beautiful, and you're so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.